Welcome to the Infamous Ghost Podcast.
I'm Josiah,
I'm Celis.
and this is where we give you our weekly perspectives on pop culture, sports, and entertainment.
Josiah, man, we got a movie review. I feel like we ain't did one of these in a while, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Since fucking, I want to say
think
John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
John Wick. So it's been a little bit over a month. Honestly, like, I'm kind of glad because that was a long ass run of movies. It was like 4 to 5 movies straight. We had Creed, we had Ant-Man, we had John Wick, we had fucking Scream. Bro, it was crazy.
Back to back to back to back.
That was like one of the best movie runs I've been a part of, to be honest.
Yeah, quite a while. I think I agree with that. Yeah, but man, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just dropped, and tell me what was your initial thoughts on it?
All right, so going into this before we saw anything, Guardians 1 and 2 was such great movies, and I always applauded James Gunn for what he did with that franchise and how he made those misfit characters like big time stars now. And like, cause nobody really cared about them in the MCU, but now they some of the biggest factors. You see what I'm saying? But going into that, bro, like I was just expecting that same feel from the other movies while also trying to take it up another level. And I feel like he did that.
Honestly, I agree with that, and I'm gonna keep adding on to that. I feel like he took it up another level with the emotional attachment, because like you got the action, you got the comedy, but now they threw in like some emotional like damage.
He was playing with everybody's feelings this movie, man, because you didn't know anybody's fate.
Yeah, you did it. That's the thing. Like before walking into this movie, I'm like, we losing somebody from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just didn't know who.
Man, like he was playing with that the whole movie. Like he just kept you guessing because I feel like everybody was in danger this movie.
For real.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. So in the beginning,
wait, spoilers ahead. For anybody watching and listening, spoilers.
Yeah, for y'all dickheads that call us infamous douchebags on TikTok, yeah, there's some spoilers ahead. All right, but first, like when we started the movie, we get a hint of Rocket backstory. We see him in a cage when he first put in when he's just a little baby raccoon, and he get the little tattoo, the 8193. Is that the number he had, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So when I first saw that, I was guessing like, oh damn, like what's going on with Rocket? Like you never really saw this side of Rocket, and that was something new because Rocket is always this tough, stern person, but you really see like, oh no, he really didn't start like that. He was made this way.
And I feel like that really was like, I feel like it was good for them to touch on his backstory because like everybody got a backstory on the reason why they act the way they do,
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why Rocket loves like spaceships or he like a leader of a group is because like the environment he grew up in, and I really like how they teased it all throughout the movie, and then they finally we got it
culminated at the end. Yeah, you're right, man. So yeah, as we see that they're in nowhere, bro, they get attacked the day after they moved in by Adam Warlock. Like this movie got right to the action. They ain't waiting not 1 second.
And like it wasn't just like a regular ambush. It really like tested us because you saw how like strong Adam Warlock was and what he's capable of us. Because you saw what he did to Drax. You saw what he did to
Nebula.
Not Nebula. Yeah, Nebula too. And what's her name? Mantis. You saw
he broke her arm.
Broke her fucking arm, like snap,
bro.
Like, you saw he wasn't on no game. This is the beginning of the movie. I'm thinking like,
that's what I'm saying. First 5 minutes,
man.
I was expecting like a better intro for Adam Warlock, but I seen what type of character he was from the beginning, man. Like the way they brought him in, I think was perfect because he wasn't playing no games from the beginning. He damn near took Rocket out. Like Rocket was comatose like 80% of the movie.
For real. Like I thought Rocket was a goner, but yeah, we can keep going.
But a bounty is put on Rocket head. No, that was the reason Adam Warlock attacked him, because the High Revolutionary Chakwadar Iwo, the person that created Rocket, he won't Rocket back to study his brain because Rocket was literally the smartest thing he created, and this man created so many creatures and put them on separate worlds that he created himself.
And so you want to touch on the protagonist a little bit.
Yeah, as we get that further down, because it's a couple of scenes I want to bring up about him. When they met Gamora, what was your like thoughts when they reintroduced Gamora back into the Guardians?
So I remember last time we seen Gamora was what, Endgame, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, Endgame. And we already knew this is not the same Gamora that from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 because you know what happened with her
yeah,
and Thanos.
it's from 2014.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, we already know what happened with her and Thanos. So this is like technically still the evil version of
Hmm.
Gamora. So
But she was never really evil. Like I think now what they was going at with Gamora in this movie, they was playing more towards her rebel side and not so much her loving and like nurturing side that she eventually showed with the Guardians once she got comfortable with them and felt that they were her family.
yeah, for real. Cause I think like Thanos conditioned her to be like such like
A soldier.
yeah, like you just hit it on the point. A soldier, like he could just be a soldier, and it's like, but like with the Guardians of the Galaxy, with their chemistry and like they, no, just the vibe around them.
The
Like I
loyalty.
knew, yeah, exactly. I knew she was eventually go let in and like get a feel of them, and you know, and kind of like re-click with the group.
Yeah. Not but in this movie, she was with the Ravagers. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, out of all groups to go with, she go with the Ravagers?
Oh, did you notice with the Ravagers is like when they entered the spaceship, their circles looked very similar to Doctor Strange circles.
Bro, I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was a strange thing. I'm like, why I didn't realize they had that power.
Yeah, it's like what type of magic? I forgot what type of magic Doctor Strange used. Fuck. But it just caught my attention. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I noticed that too. I'm like, how is that possible if they in space? So they link up with Gamora. Well, before we talk about that, I want to talk about a special cameo that was in this movie. And that was Sylvester Stallone. So if you don't know, he was in Guardians Volume 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
bringing him back, I was shocked. I'm like, oh shit, they got my boy Rocky back in the movie. And he played that part to a T. And they had Michael Rosenbaum, aka Lex Luthor, in there too.
Uh-huh.
You know, I only mention him because I met him, got his autograph. You know, slight shit, slight shit.
But so what's the next scene is like you see the Guardians and Gamora make a deal.
Yeah, they to infiltrate Orgosphere,
Mm-hmm.
some little planet that's holding all the files to Rocket, where it got all the old stuff that the doctor was doing when they were studying him, his brain, creating him. Basically, they need all this information so they can help try to save his life because he's still on a ship comatose under oxygen.
Mm-hmm. And bro, that scene was funny as hell. It's
Oh
just
my god.
like with them in the spacesuits and
The visual effects for this movie was crazy.
it was. I mean, it's Marvel. It's like Marvel
Bro,
never
like I'm
disappoint.
saying though, but if you watching Ant-Man and then watching this, I felt like this movie was like the big boy. This is like the Avenger level movie compared to Ant-Man.
Avenger level. I want to say Avenger level movie,
Bro,
but
you
bro, like, do you know what Avenger level movie is? Like Captain America Civil War is a Avenger level movie. Like,
I think huge scope of a story. Like uh you got all the viewers drawn in. You got that emotional attachment. The action sequences of the I feel like if
I'm-
all that hold up, that's a big scope of a film.
I mean, you
Because
can say the same thing with Black Panther.
not really. I think Black Panther had a great story, but it wasn't a huge scope of a film.
What you
I'm not
we
saying
got
it like that. I'm not saying it like that. Look, what I'm saying is, like, all right, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was a one off because it had to start a new story.
you can say the same thing with the Guardians.
No, no, bro, we gonna get to that part. No, it's not. No, it's I know you. If that's the case, you could say that for every Marvel movie. But like, no, that's with the Guardians. We got to close on the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just much bigger, man. When the climax happened, everything it was just much bigger. But back to Orgusfield, man. So when they get to Orgusfield, they take off the suits and then end up getting caught by some of the guards. One of the guards was Nathan Fillion from the TV show The Rookie. He was funny the whole movie. He was calling all his friends stupid. Uh,
Yeah, I
bro,
got one of those. Like,
hey, the comedy was on point. Dave
yeah,
Batista was carrying.
yes, bro. He carrying all the 1, 2, 3, and the little short they got. He
Man,
always carry. Yeah,
you wouldn't think it, but man, like him and James Gunn, that's the dynamic duo because he is funny when he work with him.
and for real.
As everything was going on, like in the movie, though, we were still getting these flashbacks back to Rocket past. So it didn't you didn't really feel like Rocket was left out of this movie. I feel like this movie was built around him because he was the heart of the Guardians.
Yeah, for real. And when you say it was built around him, like you said, they kept going back to his flashbacks, and the mission was for Rocket, and the Guardians kept reminding him. Like you saw Peter Quill say, "Yo, I gotta save my best friend." And Drax coming in second best friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah,
but yeah, you just kept like reminding, and it's like I really like that, and that's why it goes back to that emotional attachment that we were talking about earlier, because we saw him getting put into cages, him meet new best friends.
yeah, let's
And
talk about the best friends. Yeah,
yeah,
so bro, the friends that he made was a bunch of animals that was literally like, bro,
lab rats.
bro, you saw a fucking, I don't know, what's this?
It was a whale.
It was
It was
a whale on wheels. What the
uh-huh.
fuck? Like
Like,
dead ass. It was some type of chimp or something with bionic arms, with metal arms.
mm-hmm.
Bro.
What? I think she was a weasel or something.
Yeah, it was a weasel, bro. They all. It was cool when they all came up with their own names because you could see that where that family factor came from with Rocket, how he get attached to people he feel close to, and like he value that bond, and that's how pretty much he keep the fight going because he know he got other people around him to fight with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you see when they gave each other names, I think one of their name was Floor, one
Yeah,
of their name was
Floor,
Teeth.
Lila, and Teeth. Yep.
Yeah. And then when he came with his name, Rocket. But like as you saw him getting smarter and smarter in each flashback as he got bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think? What did you think about like how that was playing out?
Um, which mean how it was planned out or
Like how like not planned out, playing out. Like how
planned out?
his evolution.
Okay. So we already know Rocket a smart dude from the older Galaxy movies, but I see in this movie, like you see him like as a little baby. You know, he couldn't even talk, and then down the line, like just fast forward, you see him figure out like what's wrong with like the little test tubes or whatever they was trying to figure out.
Yeah. They was trying to. So what they was trying to do was they was trying to transform all these animals, but the problem they kept running into was every time they would transform these animals, they would be vicious, they would be deadly. They were trying to get them to be more calm,
And like he figured out on an instance,
like within
and
seconds.
yeah, like yo, this your problem right here, type shit. But
And that's when dude he realized that Rocket the only person he needed to keep, so he tried to kill everybody.
and Rocky he wasn't going for that, but that's down the line. That's
Yeah, you right, you
that's
right. All right, so back to Orgosphere. They steal the file. But man, I really thought somebody was about to die in this scene because it wasn't looking good for Drax or Nebula.
neither one of them because Drax he got hit with the boys in the hood scene.
Man.
Ricky!
Bro, he definitely got hit in the back, man. And the way when Nebula was picking him up and like dragging him across the floor, like I thought that was it. I'm like, damn, him and Nebula about to get taken out by some niggas and dressed up as balls.
Man, look like the ghost from Ghostbusters.
Shit, but with flesh color.
I feel like that was like another emotional attachment scene too, you know, because like I said, they tease us a little bit. Cause like I feel like everybody went into this movie thinking somebody's gonna lose their life. And right there, we see Drax get shot. And then I ain't gonna say they played it dramatic, but they made it really seem like damn.
The music in this shit was crazy. I think this is the best soundtrack I ever heard in a Marvel movie.
Yes, sir. Oh,
And I stand on that.
You can argue with Black Panther.
Bro, yeah, you're right.
Panther.
Yeah, the first Black Panther did go crazy. You're right. It was some hits that came out of that. But this, bro, like, come on now. We was in the theater singing some of that shit.
No, that was
Bro,
you.
no, stop lying. When that first came on, you was like, oh shit, they going crazy. What the fuck song? What you like? Oh, and I wanted to love you, just bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit went crazy, man. I'm like, okay, James Gunn, I see you. I wanted to talk about Groot because one thing that was trending about Groot was the different look that he had in this one compared to other Guardians movies.
And what look was that? Because he always have different look in different
Bigger,
movies.
different face, completely different. If you go, like, if you look at the Guardians movie from the first one, like you would compared to this one, you would think it's completely different.
Yeah, I feel like they always do. They always change up Groot. Because I remember the very first one, he was I think he the baby in the first. No,
he's the baby in the second one.
Yeah, he was like adult. Like he was big, he was long. Pause.
What the fuck? It's big and long, man. Josiah like him big and long, man.
And then at the end of the first one, he got chopped down to a plant, and so the second one he was a baby, and then the third, Infinity War, he was like a teenager.
Yep.
And then this one, he kind of like that Biggie Bokey thing then.
Working out with Thor.
And then you at the end of the movie, you saw he like a fucking boulder now. It's like,
bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Evolution. I think Groot gonna be dangerous in the next one. But like I said, we could say that for later. It was one character I wanted to talk about, man, because this character, I feel like it was the most dramatic character in the whole movie. Like the arc that this character had, and that was Mantis. Because I think Mantis was she was really like the beacon of hope in this.
What do you mean?
She had a lot of good one-liners. Like she was telling Peter, like, "Hey, man, like you talk about losing everybody that you love, but you got somebody on Earth that love you and miss you, and you haven't seen them in 40 years."
Also, you saw her really like chastising Nebula when they got stuck on a ship, like telling her like, yo, you're like emotional damage and you reflect your energy onto other people, like which is not necessary. Like
she was like the therapist in this movie. She was literally calling out everybody's flaws, even Drax, man.
Calling that stupid too.
Yeah, you feel me? She was like, he's stupid, but he cares about people, and he treats his friends nice, like shit like that. Like I feel like she was that mediator of this whole movie. Like she was keeping everybody humble. She was trying to like get everybody to see the bigger picture. James Gunn is he fucking talented, man, because he wrote and directed this. He wrote this so perfectly. It couldn't have been better.
Couldn't have been better at all. So like what are some other? Because I don't think we got enough time to go like down the whole movie.
Yeah, we could jump to the end. Let's get to when they go to Counter Earth.
All right, damn, I think it's right before I left.
Oh yeah, so for the people that's listening and watching, man, this is about, I want to say 2 hours into the movie.
Yeah, 2 hours into the movie. Yeah.
So 2 hours into the movie, this man Josiah had to leave the theater.
I had a slight emergency. I had to fix. So I missed. Apparently, I missed the most action in the movie. Like I missed one of the greatest one takes in fucking MCU history.
Bro, you must have seen it. You must have seen all the tweets.
Yeah, I did see a couple spoilers. Yeah, I'm like, fuck,
bro, that was the greatest one take ever, bro. But yeah, when you left, it was when they got to Counter Earth, and he missed like 30 minutes. So like you missed the entire climax. So yeah, when they got to Counter Earth, that's when we heard. No, you heard the first F-bomb in the MCU.
Yeah, open the fucking door,
bro. That shit was crazy. I'm like, oh shit, he just cursed. I'm like, they should have did that the whole movie. I feel like if it was any rated R MCU movie, it should have been Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, Deadpool did just start filming a couple months ago.
I know, but that's Deadpool. But he was rated R before that. I'm saying if there should have been any like canon. Like when I say canon, I mean that like a movie that ties into another movie.
Okay, but don't forget the original Deadpool was owned by Fox, not MCU.
Yeah, you're right. What I'm saying is like MCU franchise. If there was any MCU franchise before Deadpool, like just like leave Deadpool out. He was in like another universe at first. If we just stick with MCU. If there was any MCU franchise that would have had an R rating, I feel like it should have been Guardians. Because the jokes they crack, the action scenes, I feel like they pushed the limits of PG-13.
Facts. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
So when Peter go on a ship, him and Groot, they tell everybody else wait back, and they set up a plan to try to get Rocket Fowl back. And bro, he did it. He got it back, and the nigga jumped off the ship. Literally, like he took one of the workers with him. He was like, "Hey, you're gonna kill both of us." Then that's what he's like, "Not me." The group jumped behind him and held him down. Bro, ran that nigga into the ground and killed him. Yeah, man. So when everything started happening at the end, like it was all crazy because it was happening so fast, man. But the higher revolutionary, his whole team turned on him. The man literally he killed this whole team once they turned on him because they realized that he was doing no good and not making any difference. Like he wanted to kill the counter Earth to start over. So he wanted to take out the whole world and recreate it on some Thanos shit.
Yeah, because like listen. Like I understand people good and bad side. What he was trying to do, he was trying to start this perfect society where it's like there's no crime, no violence. So that's why when he got Rocket to help him with the machine tube thing to help them like procreate the perfect like animals.
Species.
Yeah, species. He was like, all right, make a whole bunch of these, drop them in one place. But essentially, like we all like,
yeah, he created multiple worlds though. Can't forget, he created multiple worlds. So he was still trying to figure it out, and that's where Rocket came in because he didn't know Rocket was alive this whole time. Because when Rocket escaped, like Rocket was smart, man, because he was like in the flashbacks. Each time he was meeting with the dude, he was grabbing a piece from the office, and once he realized that dude wanted to kill them all, he made this key and escaped. But then all his friends got killed in the process, and that was sad as fuck. I never thought I'd feel so sad about a fucking sea mouse getting killed on wheels. Like,
and like, bro, the writers and the
I be doing the same shit. Slow down, man.
Oh shit!
All right, tripping on your words.
Oh shit! All right, all right.
The writers and the directors.
All right. The writers and the directors are like talented as fuck, as like you said earlier, because like we just got introduced to these characters like an hour and a half ago, and their death scenes. I really felt their death scenes. Like, damn, because I really like. I'm a big fan of Rocket, and I see how close they was to Rocket in a short amount of time because they bonded built over like the circumstances they was in.
Mm-hmm.
And when they death scene really hit you, and it was like, damn, that's that emotional attachment. And that's where you see Rocket's like how he is now.
Yeah, why he was so stern and straightforward, man. But like, yeah, you're right. But the Guardians allow him to love people again, and that's what changed him. But man, so when Peter and Groot get back to the ship, they save Rocket, and that was a big emotional scene when they brought him back because it showed him going into the light to talk to Lila, but she was like, "Wait, it's not your time. You still got a purpose."
Exactly.
And that's when he
was ready to go too. He was ready to go.
He was ready to go. You're right. And then when he came back, man, him and Groot and Peter, they got that group hug in, bro. That was emotional. But yeah, when they go back to the ship, Rock was like, "I'm done running, man. Like, I'm ready to fight."
Right.
Bro, and that's when we got the greatest fight scene ever in MCU history, man.
Bro, don't say that.
The greatest one take scene ever.
Okay, you can say that.
The greatest one take scene in MCU history, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, didn't miss. It was like a good 5-minute scene, bro. You missed this, but this was cold as fuck, bro. I want to watch it again just for that scene.
Wait. So do you think it's better than Age of Ultron one take scene? Remember, it was like Thor, Captain America, Wanda,
definitely
Scarlet,
better, bro.
Vision.
Because the choreography was they was in a tight space, and the choreography they did for that, bro. I'm telling you, it was crazy. The people they took out, man, great, one of the greatest fight scenes I ever seen in an MCU movie. I ain't gonna say that. Gamora ended up stabbing him. and then she ripped his mask off, bro. And then that's when we saw like literally like he was still injured from when Rocket attacked him. He ain't got no skin. It was bloody, one eyeball, bro. It was nasty as hell. I'm like, they really pushing the limits of a PG-13 movie. Rocket, like he had the opportunity to kill him, but he didn't. Drax said, "Why not?" He was like, "It's not worth it." But then I think the part that stood out the most to everybody in the theater was when Quill almost died, and that was when everybody's running off the ship, and he almost didn't make it because this nigga went back to go grab his damn MP3 player.
Yeah, like his mom gave him that MP3 player.
Yes, he dropped it when he was running. He tried to go back and get it, and then that's when everything exploded. And he was too far away from the ship. He jumped out, then got stuck and started freezing. Face started swelling up, but then Adam Warlock saved him. And that was when you saw Adam Warlock's arc change because he realized his mother was the bad guy. He was just following her orders, and he was actually a nice person.
Yeah, for real. You saw he was a nice person because when he killed the dude when he wasn't supposed to, his mom wanted him to kill that little furry thing. Mm-hmm. He kept it as a pet, and
facts.
Yeah, he made a new friend.
Yeah, that was emotional too, man. When they realized Peter was still alive, and then he told Mantis like, "Wasn't that cool?" Like just another good one-liner, man. But I think it got bittersweet after that because the Guardians broke up. Everybody stated their reasons. Quill said he just need to go find himself and figure out what's next for him, and he went back to Earth. Drax said he want to focus on being something different outside of the Guardians. And Mantis said she was ready to do the same thing. So everybody was literally trying to find their own path. That's what it was. And Rocket was the one holding on, like, so is this the end of the Guardians? And that's when Peter told him, like, hey, you the new leader. And that's when everybody like gave that 2 beats on the chest, like basically donning him the new leader. But yeah, man, that's when we got to the end of the movie. And then that's when the post-credit scene came. You saw Star-Lord with his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
It was a dry scene, but then you got the message at the end that Star-Lord was gonna return.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I'm trying to piece like what can he return as? It's like, all right, he's on Earth. So
it'll probably be in Secret Wars.
Yeah, so he probably get like dragged back into like something like you never know, like
or killed. It's most likely gonna be killed off. He gonna get killed off.
So we see the new Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock,
Sean Gunn's character. I forgot him. I forgot his name.
Sean Gunn character, and there was some girl.
Yeah, who was that little girl? I need to Google this because I did not know who she was.
I don't know. I thought she was one of them little girls from the cages, like, and I that was around the time I walked out, so I'm not really sure.
I think she was, but I don't. Yes, that was Phyla Vale. Who is Phyla Vale? I have no idea who that is. Phyla Vale.
All right, so I'm just curious on like what do her character bring and like what's her character background and like what does she have to offer later in the MCU?
Superhuman strength, speed, agility, durability, and reflexes.
Okay.
She can fly. She blasts energy. She's an energy sponge. She absorbs energy. So she like another Sue Storm.
So I ain't gonna lie, you kind of see like the Guardians kind of got stronger, like with Adam Warlock.
Bro, Warlock. Oh my god, they OP now.
Yeah, like
they got a supersized Groot.
Yeah, like Groot. Yeah, they're a tank now. So
yeah, what Rocket is. I think Rocket was the perfect leader, bro. I'm happy. Like I'm happy with the way it ended.
For sure. Yeah, me too.
All right, man. Before we end this episode, bro, I just want to ask you one last question, and that's, what would you rate this movie out of 10? I know you missed the climax, but so you probably missed the most important part of the movie. But
I'll probably give it like a 8.5 out of 10.
Bro, you give the same rating every movie.
Do I?
You really do, bro. Go back and check, bro. I don't think you gave anything over an 8.
I gave Creed
besides
a 10 out of 10.
I was about to say besides Creed. Go back and look. You gave, I think, John Wick an 8 or 8.5. You gave Ant-Man an 8, 8.5. You gave fucking Scream an 8, 8.5.
Those are all 8.5 movies.
Ain't to
Like
you.
they all in the same tier to me.
Honestly, this is a 9.5 for me. 9.5.
Okay.
The writing was the acting was the. I think Chris Pratt did a great job, man. Because when they thought they lost Rocket, when his heart stopped, man, when he was screaming like no, like you really felt that shit. And nothing wrong with this movie, man. I feel like a perfect 10 would be Endgame, and I can't give it that.
Endgame, honestly, I give Endgame like a 9.5
I
out of
give you
10.
right. I give Infinity War a 10.
Yes, Infinity War, yes, 10.
Right.
But
But
I
I think I think this is a great close to a story, close to a trilogy.
yes, I agree with that.
All right, that's gonna do it for us today, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Infamous Ghost Podcast, and you can follow us on Instagram at Infamous Ghost Pod.
And you can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Infamous Goats. Until then, we see y'all next week.
Peace.